Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today we're going to talk about freelancing. We're specifically going to talk about how to get paid as a freelancer. This is something that's super important because a lot of you as freelancers, you're not getting what you're worth. Sometimes you're not getting paid by your clients at all, and that could be devastating because cash flow, that's a real thing. So let's talk about some ways that we can help you get paid as a freelancer. This is actually something I cover in my free email course on freelancing, and freelancing is not free is the name of the free ebook and the course. And it's more than just getting paid by your clients. It's also about understanding the investment you have to make into your freelance career. And so I really encourage you guys to check that out. Links are in the description and the annotation up here. Getting paid by your clients is something that is a real challenge for a lot of freelancers, but a lot of it has to do with the simple fact that many of you are not asking for that payment up front. And so I would highly encourage you to always charge a deposit. That is tip number one here. Charge a deposit at some point in the process. You need to talk about the upfront money that you're going to be getting to take this on. And however you need to justify that is fine. I personally prefer to outline the steps or phases in a project and outline the fees associated with each phase of the project. So phase one will represent a deposit and it will be X and it will be tied to deliverable Y. That is the way that I typically approach it, and so that's why I encourage you guys to do. I prefer to do at least 3 phases of a project. Sometimes it will go more, but I will basically set up a service fee that's associated with phase 1. It represents the non-refundable deposit for starting the work, and once the agreement is made, that becomes due up front. I then charge deliverable-based fees in every other phase of the project, and this means that they're paying for something and getting something. They're paying for something and getting something so that everyone feels that it's fair and appropriate, and that's usually an easy way to negotiate this. One of the other things I recommend you do is once you start taking this seriously, consider using contracts. I know that that can seem like intimidating, and it can for the clients too. You can do very simple contracts with something like Hello Bonsai, which is free, and it'll walk you through the steps of that and generate a contract for you. You can also get free contracts from docracy.com. Again, these are all free resources that are in my free email course, and I mentioned them, so you definitely will want to check that out. You get a list of resources in every one of those emails, but these are tools that I've used and that they've been very helpful to me, and so I would recommend you do that. Now, if you are getting paid enough, then it becomes time to invest in a lawyer to generate standard contracts for you. That's usually a few $100. Totally worth it though to pay for them one time up front and then make modifications to them, just little tweaks down the road. But again, when you're playing for enough money, then that's practical for you. The other thing that's going to make it easier for you to get paid is to set up an invoicing system. You can do this either with paypal.com for free. Also, you can consider using FreshBooks. I've got a link for you in the info card annotation up here somewhere and in the description below. You can also go to robertoblake.com/freshbooks and try a free trial. Nope, they're not sponsoring the channel, at least not yet anyway. But they are something that I use and they are an affiliate of mine. And so I like to recommend them because it's helped me actually keep track of my time when I need to do that because they have a time tracker. They let me keep track of not only my invoices for clients, but also I can track my own expenses. This is really handy when you start making enough money to where your tax situation gets really interesting. You'll want to account for all of those expenses. I'll have a whole other rant about freelancing and taxes at another time. So please stay tuned for that. You're going to want to pull up some popcorn. It's going to be fun. Yeah, you guys know I get ranty. Some freelancers like to put their rates on their website. I personally am not a fan of this because I really still feel like every project is unique. However, there are freelancers that benefit by just doing flat rates and fees, and so I would encourage you to figure out which category you fall into, and then putting your prices up front on your website will filter clients that simply can't afford you, and that might save you a lot of time and frustration. Clients that agree to your prices based on seeing them up front are more likely to pay them. If you do any freelancing in person, using something like Square or using something like PayPal here that you can just swipe a debit card or credit card with is going to be really convenient for collecting your fees. So I would encourage you to do that. Another thing that you could do is you could set up bank wire transfers, and I would recommend that if you're going to do that, you know how to receive that through your website, you follow their instructions. You'll want to tie that to a business checking account of some kind that's associated with your business or your DBA, LLC, whatever your business structure is. So that's something that if you need to, I would say talk to the bank about that. I really don't want to give you too much specific advice on that. I just don't think that somebody that's not a banker, I don't feel super qualified for that. And depending on where you live and what the rules are, it might be different. It might be different based on your banking branch. It might be different based on your country. So really look into that. Another way to ensure that you're getting paid from your clients is to do a little research on them before you agree to take on their project, and don't start the work until you've gotten a deposit. You could just make that a policy going forward. I know it's difficult, especially when you're just starting out, but if you set up these good habits, it might hurt a little bit at first, but you'll save yourself a lot of pain, heartache, and frustration in the long run by filtering your clients and knowing when to say no. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. These are my top tips for getting paid from your clients. I actually have a checklist that you can get for free when you sign up for the free email course. You'll get that on top of the free ebook. So there's a lot of freebies and goodies you can get, and all it's going to cost you is your email address. So again, those links are down below and also in the info card above. If you have questions about freelancing or working with difficult clients, leave those in the comment section. I'd love to try and help you out. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.